Welcome to another video. This will be regarding Tripo. So I have over here a robot that I used within my previous videos. And let's see, this will be the mesh. And after that, we can have the texture also applied. In this case, I had a different image over here for an Omni wheel. So I will just replace the image with the image used in this case to generate the model. So I will generate the texture, and after that, within this video, I want to see how rigging works within Tripo, and we're going to see this applied on the case study robot. Texturing the robot within Tripo, we're going to see that the mesh will look like this. So not too bad, considering that this will be the ultra model. And as we can see over here, the only difference is that over here for this leg, we're going to have those two rollers. But for the one that is not visible within the reference, it will not have those. Now, I also created this model previously using the older model, so let's compare them over here. I will just open the previous generated one, which was this one. We're gonna see over here that overall the mesh texture will look like this, but if I will only show the wireframe over here at the solid model, we're gonna see that it used to look like this. One main difference is that the previous model managed to better output symmetry. So we see over here for those rollers, even though they are not that fully defined as the one over there, it will look like this. We're going to say that it will be less detail for the fingers of the robot. Also over here for the head, this will just be a simple, quite flat surface, while within the newly generated model, we're going to have some details for the eyes over there. Now let's see this one as well. So this is using the low poly, and we can already see that this is quite low. Also, there are some problems with the mesh. Over here we have a hole, and yeah. Now let's go back to the one that is being texturing. So it should finish now because I see that the texture is all the way up. We see over here within the HD mesh, this eye will be defined by two lines. Even though within the reference it looked like this, so we should have those two lines with 4 dots, two on the bottom. We're actually having two lines with 5 over here, so I'm not sure exactly why. Over here for that mouth made from pixels, let's say, we have those 4 circles, and over here we have actually 5. Now the texture should be finished quite soon. And we're going to take a look at rigging, because this is one thing that I like about Tripo, is the fact that it combines geometry, texture with rigging as well. Overall, the model will look quite good. We're going to have those details embedded over here on the leg of the robot. As you can see, those will also be within the mesh. Over here, we should have a text, like we see it over here. It would be future X. Over here we should have bot text, and yeah, overall we see that for textures within text, Tripo still does not recreate the exact same text within the reference. I think that this is specifically designed as other tools have only started to output good texture. Now we're gonna see how the texture will look like this. So not that bad. Overall, I do feel like all the elements that should be metallic are not that metallic, but this also due to the fact that this is a PBR texture. So we see over here that it's quite visible, the difference between white and gray, just like within the reference. But overall, the mesh looks really good, and now we can go within rigging. I'm really curious how fast auto rigging will go, because last time I checked Tripo, it did took quite a while in order to apply that auto rigging. But I'm pretty sure that for this robot, auto rigging will go a little bit faster. And this is why I decided to make this video record. So I don't want to speed up anything. I want to show you exactly the speed that that Tripo has. So you can maybe consider this for 3D model generation, texturing, and most importantly, rigging. Now, we're going to see over here that we have an estimation of, let's say, more than 1 minute. And I will just go within this AT&T because we see over here that this will instantly auto-rig any model and generate ready-to-use animations. I'm really curious if for this it will manage to output a good rigging because we see over here we have a seagull, we have a shark, we have a character, we have a dog, and we have a car. And I want to apply this auto rigging to this model. I'm really curious if it will manage to position those joints accordingly, since this shape is quite similar to some of those templates that Tripo will use. Now, we see over here that that rigging is almost finished. So it's about half a minute. So I'm going to go over here and see how that rigging will look. Usually I notice that within the web platform over here for ultra models with 2 million faces, it will be a little bit laggy. So usually it's a good idea to swap to solid mode over here, and that will give you a better frame rate within the viewport. Not sure exactly why that texture in the light will add that delay to the web tool, but it is visible, at least on my laptop. So we have the rigging done. I'm pretty sure that it will take a little bit more additional time in order to output those predefined animations. But for this robot, I think that it will manage to define that quite well. Since it's quite obvious where those rigging elements will be, where we have all the joints over here for the knee, for the feet. So this is still being generated. I see over here that an error occurred while running task. Please check notification center for more details. Okay, so the notification center, I think it should be over here. We have the latest notification regarding that. Your rig operation has failed. Okay, so not for this one, for the robot, it actually failed for the AT&T. So most likely it didn't really understand the shape that it should have rigged, and this is why it failed. I also have another character over here, so I will also apply rigging to this. And we see that for this I already have it applied. Not sure exactly when this was created. We see that it's the same rigging version, so version 2.0. And let's see, we want this character to climb. So we do have a lot of faces wrapping over here, so they are not that well defined, as we can see. The weights of the vortices are not well defined and they will stretch a lot. This is why I'm curious if within a newer version it will be better. So we see over here the character is turning, but there are so many oddly weighted vortices over here that it will be a lot easier to do this manually within Blender or other tools. Over here for the walking, this is the most decent one. So we have over here some weights that are not that well defined, but for the arms and over for the legs, this is quite good. When we're going to add that running, we're going to have that added. Now this should finish for the robot, and let's take a look at this, because we have this almost fully processed. We see over here that they have version 1, which was the auto rig and animate biped characters, especially good for humanoids. And over here, we're going to see that this will be the latest algorithm. It's called auto rig, and this is intended for other elements, such as we see over here animals to sci-fi creatures. So not sure exactly why for the AT&T it didn't want to process. Let me just search over here within the models list if I have some additional models that I can rig. I also saw over here the car, so maybe It is also compatible with car models, so it will most likely rig, I think, the wheels. Not sure exactly what else. Not sure if it's that capable of creating, for example, opening a door or other elements. Other elements that I can rig over here are the characters over here on the bottom. Let's take a look over here with this Lego character. This was also divided into mesh segmentation, but within rigging, I'm going to enable the auto rigging for this one as well. This model was also quite good. So I compared this to other tools, and we see over here that the Lego parts are quite interestingly defined. So we see over here the pieces for the leg. We have those cutouts over here and to the back as well. And this can be further animated within Blender, but the way mesh segmentation currently works, it will not, let's say, create individual components that will be fully defined by surfaces. It will just split those surfaces. So other generative AI tools can output a much more interesting mesh segmentation by actually recreating individual parts so that they will be fully defined by surfaces. I see over here that the rigging is still being processed, so not sure exactly how long this will further take, but I'm willing to keep this record in order to showcase the rigging, because we saw with our character that the walking and the running was decent, and we have this now processed for our robot. So let's just enable the skeleton on top of this to see exactly how it was added. So we see that it was added good. I'm really curious if the weight paints will now be well defined, so that if he will move his hand, no surfaces from the legs will also be moved. So I'm gonna go for walking in this case, and let's take a look at this. It will require additional time to do that retargeting, because initially it just created that auto rigging, but we see in this case for the shape of a humanoid character, it will manage to output that really good over here. I see that the retargeting will require additional 1 minute. Maybe it will be even a little bit more than that. But I'm pretty sure that in this case, at least the walking will not do any vertex, let's say, displacement from other areas, not the ones that it should control. Over here it will be a little bit trickier for auto rigging, but we can do this manually within Blender, so that only those faces that will be with that should be moved. So I see over here that this is ready, so I think I need to go back and forth because it didn't automatically start. I will also retarget the running, and we're gonna see that this will be queued over here. Now if I will go back to walking, I think that it should refresh. And as you can see, this now works. I will disable a texture, so we have a much more fluid animation over here. So overall, the way that he steps in, since the legs are so large compared to the body, we're gonna have some overlapping over here. So other than that, we're gonna see that the hand movement is quite good. We do have a little bit of intersection between the leg and the hand, but we are not seeing that wrapping that used to happen as you saw previously. So this is quite improved. We're gonna see that the running animation will also be good. So over here for the hands, the animation will be a lot better. You see over here how well that wrapping from the joint will be, even though it will be like an organic character, not like a mechanical one, the way that those surface will wrap. But overall, the animation is quite good. Now, I'm really curious how other will be, for example, let's say fall, because usually within previous version, when I try to retarget this kind of animation, it didn't actually manage to find that ground plane. So we see that now the character will run over this ground plane, but usually with the fall, it used to fall even lower than that ground plane. So I'm really curious now if they address this problem in order to also have that surface better defined where the fall animation should happen. Overall, I'm quite impressed to the fact that this retargeting works really fast. As you can see, with this HD robot, it does output some interesting animations. They will require additional work within Blender. Not sure exactly over here if we can go ahead and we can tweak that. But yeah, let's see. The fall animation is ready. And yeah, the same problem persists. So we see over here, this will indicate, I think this will be the 0, 0 point for the robot right over here on the skeleton, and that is being taken into account for the fall animation. So you're going to see that the robot will actually fall. Let's say we can add a box or a bed over there, and he will just not actually fall, but he will, let's say, jump within that. We're going to have over here shoot, turn, slash. So let's add an additional one. I'm going to add climb over here because I'm really curious where the endpoint will be, but I'm pretty sure that again it will be linked to that position over here on the bottom. But I'm really curious regarding the hand movement for the climb and also for the feet. Overall, I do consider that the auto rigging from Tripo is really good, especially we see that it works really good with this kind of biped characters. Now I did retarget this one, so I'm just gonna go over here and see how this will process. So it's still working. Since I'm working on two models, I think that they are within the same queue, depending on the type of account that you have. You may have additional slots, so you can go ahead and work on different models at the same time. But keep in mind that in some cases, those will be queued. So we have this being retarget for the shoot, and I'm really curious what will be the overall position of the hands. We see over here within this preview with that character that it will hold both hands in front. Now let's take a look over here and see exactly how that shoot animation was implemented within this. If it's with a pistol, considering the position like this with the hands added in front, I think that it will be something similar. Okay, so actually no, it will be something like this with a large weapon. So overall, this animation is quite good. Again, it doesn't really manage to understand the ground floor, but take a look over here at the complexity of the movement. So the character will jump like this forward. After that, he will do various shots like this at different targets. Okay, so I'm really curious what's your opinion regarding this, because I do consider that Tripo is quite good at also generating, texturing, and rigging. So we can easily create some VR application using this. Over here, the position for the leg within the final animation is a little bit weird. You see over here that leg, so we're gonna have the knee over here. But yeah, overall, the results are quite good in this case. So I hope you enjoyed this kind of content. I'm going to position a similar video on the left side, and I will also add a subscribe button to the right. So that's it. Thanks for watching.